Hey guys, it's your boy Aoen here. I'm just kidding. Hey guys, Keyvan. What's up, what's up? I just wanted to update the video here. And I guess first and foremost, if you guys can, please like, subscribe. I can't monetize this channel until I pass 1,000 subscribers, and I'm super close. So if you can, that'd be nice. Updated stuff. Here's my talents. What I changed. I dropped 3 in Arcane Meditation because I got better at fishing for clear casting, and I picked up Enduring Winter. The reason for Enduring Winter is that you can get, if you Nova instantly, you can get 3 pet Novas in a single pet. And that helps us a lot. So, there's the talents. Glyphs I forgot to do last video is Glyph of Blink, Glyph of Ice Barrier, Glyph of Mana Gem. Gear, I'm just full arcane PvE gear. I have no mana return trinket anymore. Nothing. It's really good arcane PvE gear. I'm too lazy to swap stuff out. Macros. I get asked a lot about what macros. It looks like I have 1 million. The only reason I have that is so that when I learn new ranks of spells, going back to Classic, it auto-updated. The only notable macro is this one, my Water Ele one. It summons Water Elemental, puts them on passive, and it casts Freeze with the exclamation point, which makes it so that when you spam it, the circle, the green circle, does not go away. And that just makes it so I can summon and instantly have the pet Nova there right away, without having to press 2 buttons type thing. The other thing, you can make a Blink and Rocket Boots macro. I do not have one. My Blink and Rocket Boots, my Blink is scroll down, my Rocket Boots is scroll up. So when I'm in an ice block, I just spam scroll down, and it cancel Aura's ice block, cast Blink, and then dismount. Doesn't matter for this. Those are the only 2 macros that are really noteworthy. Now, what kind of rates am I charging? And how does it compare to the 500 gold for 5 boosts? The top one here is my rates, and these are corrected. It's the same as before, but you can only do 5 lockouts the first hour. After your first dungeon, you can only the lockout begins once you exit the first reset, which means you can only do 4 an hour after that, right? So hence, these are the actual XP per hour that you should expect versus what the video clickbaited before, right? And so the gold per hour just goes down by a little bit. And that's just because you can only do 4 an hour. People that are trying to min-max it, get below 13 minutes, etc., it doesn't matter. Anything below 15 minutes, you will hit lockout timer. The only thing that doing it faster does means you have a longer break during the instance lockout. Now, one thing I want to bring attention to here is the amount of boosts and the total gold. There's with heirlooms and without heirlooms. And the amount of hours, I guess, as well. Keep in mind, 90% of the time, I'm doing a duo boosty thing, or boost. The total gold is 29k at my rates. At 300 gold a run for 2 people, it is 29k gold and takes 97 runs, about 24 hours. The new 500 gold for 5 duo mage boost. I got these XP rates from my alt mage that I leveled. They should be accurate. I don't know if they were scuffed, but at the price points that they were paying or charging, it seems so much cheaper, right? It's 1,000 gold cheaper for 5 runs. Look at the whole picture. 27k versus 29k. Total hours, 46 hours versus 24 hours. So, mages that are doing the solo boost, you're like, oh, you're scamming people. No. These guys can't do basic math. The total amount of runs as a duo boosty is like 175 runs, and that's with heirlooms. You're spending about 27.5k. with heirlooms. 46 hours. That's not worth it. Not worth it at all. It's literally the same price to level twice as fast. Okay. You will, people, this has been the #1 point of contention. People are like, oh, you're scamming people by charging that much. No. They're literally leveling for the same price in like half the time. So, once again, my Twitch handle, if you want to see up-to-date stuff, KeyvanB_ZGZ. My Twitch handle. Feel free to come stop by. I stream most nights. Recently, I haven't been working on this boost and stuff like that. And so, sorry for wasting a lot of time. Let's get into the boost. This is without the mirror image bug. And let's see what I do here. Okay. I end up getting ready. I flask up. As you can see, I'm not even using Mage armor anymore. I'm just using molten armor. Blizzard is capped at 10 targets. The only way to force out more damage is by critting as many times as you can. This is why we have like Winter's Chill, molten armor, power flask, whatever. For this very first pull, I like to have the TBC rocket boots. And the reason for that is you just get around the circle faster. So we run up, invis that first pack, and then what we're going to do at the top of the stairs is Nova, counterspell the one caster, pull the construct, pull the shardlings. There's the Nova, counterspell, pull the construct, pull the shardlings. I'll spell steal arcane haste buff. It doesn't do anything. I cone of cold him, and now here I aggro as much as possible. I mirror image. I blink to get it on cooldown. I TBC rocket boots. And the important thing is to get that cone of cold on the really big guy. And then I frost nova there. If you have time here, you can spell steal the arcane haste before you go on the ice block. As you can see here, I didn't. Doesn't matter. Wait for ice block to be at like 0 seconds. I blink. I instantly pet nova them. In that case, I would pet nova them. But my ice barrier broke because I refreshed it before the ice block. And now it just goes into the kill phase. I group them up. Mobs that get ahead, you can just deep freeze them like that. And here, I'm looking for buffs. My goal is to get 2 arcane haste buffs. They stack. You can get more than 2. But 2 of them feels really good. So right there, I just spell stole my second one. Look how fast those blizzards are. 2.6 seconds. 2.6 seconds. So now I'll look for another buff. I see that one. I'm like, ooh, 24 seconds of cast time. So I greet it. I couldn't get it, and 2 spell steals there. Unlucky. I'll look for it again. There we go. I got it. So here you're probably like, oh, you're gonna die. Whatever. I've gotten comfortable enough at it that I know I can greed the spell steals. Because it's just going to save me time in the end. Like, look at this burst here. With the 2 pet novas, it was the 3rd pet nova of my first pet, and the 1st pet nova of my 2nd pet. No issues. The poll's already dead. And that's just because I spell stole 2 arcane hastes and was able to have 3-second blizzards. That's done. We'll loot. Whatever. So that's how I pull that poll without the mirror image bug, right? Now, you're probably like, why loot? I can't do pull number 2 or get to pull number 2 until invis is off cooldown. And in the bottom right, it's still 20 seconds. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll eat up and then I'll go towards pull number 2. Now, one thing I want to stress, you'll see me aggro everything and I switch to the nitro boots. The reason for that is lower cooldown. I don't feel like waiting for the TBC boots to be up. So here I'll put on mana shield, ice barrier, and I make sure I aggro everything here at the front. And the reason for that is when we mirror image, because the mirror image bug at the moment, it'll aggro these guys to us. So there, I just blink through the pack, cast and viz once, 8 dwarfs are aggroed. Or 6. You go to the spot. Then I'll eat up, and then I'll put up ice barrier and mana shield again. The mana shield, the reason why I do that is just so if Ice Barrier breaks, I don't actually take damage, and I can afford to lose mana, because the quicker you get your mana gem on cooldown, the better. You don't want to use mana gem, or sorry, mana shield in the pull after that. It'll cost too much mana. So I aggro the controller, aggro a far shardling, and they'll proximity aggro that controller mob as well. I'll Kona Cold them so they don't hit me. I blink through this pack. I jump and I Ice Nova, or Frost Nova there. I renew Ice Barrier, Mirror Image, wait 2 seconds, and then I have to Ice Block. Because if you don't Ice Block, you'll get mind controlled. I come out of the Ice Block as soon as Blink is up. I Rocket Boots, and I get out of dodge. Aggro all these mobs. I have lots of time. And blink up. I like blink down the stairs, and then I turn around, and I just kind of group up the shardlings and stuff. Don't stay in this blizzard too long sometimes, because you'll just get casted on. But here, I break line of sight. I blizzard there again to group them up, and then I'll pet nova them, and kind of burst down the shardlings as much as possible, so that the elites start taking more damage, because the damage is capped at 10 targets. I spell steal the Iron Might, and then I continue bursting, and I deselect my target constantly as soon as it pops up like that. I instantly get out of line of sight and keep going. Now, I just remembered, I keep getting asked how am I deselecting, because if you press escape, it's going to cancel your blizzard, right? Like that. All I'm doing is clicking the screen. I think by default, sticky targeting in the interface options is on. Turn that off. That way when you have a target, you're blizzarding, you just click anywhere on the screen. Turns off. So, same thing goes here. I have my second pet nova up, and I burst. It's burst time. Now, since I spell stole Iron Might, I still have 20 seconds left of 15% more damage. One straggler gets ahead. That's fine. You can deep freeze him or just nova him, whatever. I'll burst again, and I know I have to look for another buff right away here. I just keep killing, and then I think I end up spell sealing a buff here. I notice Pet Nova's back up. There's the third Pet Nova. Keep bursting. This guy gets a bit ahead. I'm just going to deep freeze him and continue on. I'm sorry, I had to mute this clip because it had some copyrighted music. So here, if you're having mana problems, it's probably because you're not holding the blizzards until you get a clear casting proc. Like here, I don't get one. I'm like, ugh. I get it on the very last tick, so I'm happy. But most of the time, I'll sit there and I'll hold blizzard until I get a clear casting proc. That pack's dead. 6 minutes, 40 seconds into the run. Pretty fast. Now, same thing here. I can loot because I'm waiting for cooldowns anyways. Ice block. Not up. I'll make mana gem again. Rebuff myself with dampen magic sometimes, whatever. Now for pull number 3. I Frost Nova the 2 unrelenting constructs, so they can't charge me. I pull the far group, and I start to head to the long side hallway. I Ice Barrier and I Mana Shield again. And same thing with the Mana Shield. I know I can do it at the very beginning of the pull because I have Mana Gem. And the quicker you get Mana Gem up, the better for the most part. You can always Mana Pot if you need to, or Runic Mana Injector. So here, Frost Nova the big guy, pull that guy, and then I'll Cone of Cold the big guy. I'll Mirror Image, splits the aggro. Chargy boys will still charge you sometimes. I blink through. Now here is normally where I would Mana Gem, but it's still on cooldown, so I'm like, okay, whatever. I use a Mana Pot instead. Now here, I wait for the big guy. Gonna cold him. What I'm trying to do is get that second big guy to actually come into that pack, but he was at a super far pat. So it's kind of unlucky there, but we end up novaing him with the shield breaking. We pull a lot of stuff. You can get a little bit monk ass here, but I know my ice barrier is going to break. There we go. Like, okay, whatever. Gonna cold them, pull stuff at the far back. That, for example, was a very sloppy pull. You can do that without losing any health with it. Fun to show, like, even if it's fine. Time the melees on the big guys. What I did there is I pet Icy Veins and instantly cold snapped, and that's just so cold snap is up for the next run. Because it's a 7-minute cooldown and I'm going to be done and want to start the next one. So here, I'm just Omega max ranging stuff. I spell stole an Iron Might buff, so I do 15% more damage. And so each blizzard, I'm trying to group them up. Whenever Pet Nova's about to be up, I burst. And then I'll move ahead. I'll just keep grouping them up and fishing for clear casting procs. I'm getting decently lucky. But you'll almost always get a proc. Is if you're hitting like 20 plus targets with every tick, you're gonna get a proc. Here's another Pet Nova. I know I can burst. The XP range, where the mobs are right now, the people at the beginning start getting experience like right in that little hallway. So I know it's fine. I'll summon my second pet. Keep bursting. And I'll blink, turn around, keep on bursting. So voila, we have a 10-minute, 40-second run. 43 seconds. I think I explained that a bit better and showed how to do it without mirror image bugging on the first pull. But don't stress too much about getting it down 10 minutes, 45 seconds. Anything under 15 minutes, you will hit instance lockout. So it's really just comfortably getting it down under 15. Yeah, there we go. That's a pull that I do enjoy. If you have any more questions, I hope I didn't forget anything. We went over talents, we went over glyphs, went over gear, went over macros. Should be everything. Sorry if I forgot anything, let me know in the comments. And once again, if you don't mind, please subscribe. I'm very, very close to 1K. We're getting there, so. Yeah, monetize this channel once it hits 1K. Thank you very much. Have a good day.